That right there says I'm live streaming on YouTube. Watching this screen to see if it actually comes up. I have my Bill Smiley Aviation Center bug. Perhaps I'll tell a little bit of story tonight. Aviation Center bug. Oh, that's interesting. I've got this headset on now, so I think story tonight. Aviation Center. It's not coming over as an echo on the live stream. I was wondering if there's any reason for me to wear this while I'm doing a live stream without Zoom. And yeah, that just confirmed it, because I can confirm audio is okay through the live stream without waiting for somebody in chat to confirm it. All right, lesson learned. Good morning. It is 9 a.m. in California on June 23rd, 2022. What is special about today? What is unusual about today? Oh, I know. It is Carrie Holzman's birthday. Many of the people who watch my channel also watch Carrie Holzman's, and as such, I'll call them fans of Carrie Holzman. I'm reminding you, today is Carrie's birthday. I already sent a birthday greeting to Carrie myself. So this is day 2 of Task Manager. If you missed day 1, that covered the more introductory concepts about Task Manager. Today, I'm going to take it a little bit further. One other thing to mention today is that tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific time, I will be a guest on the Ken Stout Live YouTube channel, where he's going to interview me, and I suspect that will include some things that I don't really let out of the bag or talk about on my channel. I'm kind of hoping it's a way for the community to get to know me a little bit better. I actually sent him a list of questions that I thought were a little bit clickbaity in the way they sounded. That would, be interesting stories. I think there are good stories behind each of those. We're not going to cover very many of those because they'll just take too long. But if Ken has other questions, we'll go wherever he wants to go with it, or wherever the live stream wants to go with it. So, and there's a link in the description of this video that you can click on to get to that live stream. And that link will also help you find the live stream after it is no longer live. So then let's go bring up Task Manager again. That's the wrong button to push. Here on my monitor number 3. I'm going to Control-Shift-Escape to bring up Task Manager. Now, yesterday at the beginning, I pointed out that the first time that you go into Task Manager on any particular user account, you're going to get this small display, and you're probably going to want to click on More Details to get to more information. What I neglected to mention is the way to get back to that short display. Oh, by the way, my video just kind of froze there for a little bit while Task Manager is coming up, because that's a thing. Task Manager takes up a lot of resources when it's loading. Kind of ironic, but I will commonly, particularly on slower computers, I'll see that Task Manager is at the top of the list. If I already have it sorted by CPU, the last time that I was using Task Manager, it will open up this way and it will show me that Task Manager is at the top of the list. I'm going to see if I can reproduce it. So here I'm doing Control-Shift-Escape again. So I suspect that my video on screen will freeze. You'll still hear me okay. And then when Task Manager comes up, it will show perhaps Task Manager near the top. Now, it's not going to be as high as on a slower computer. On slower computers, I'll see that 99% for maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Then it starts calming down. What I started explaining, and I didn't finish, is that this fewer details down at the bottom will get us back to that small display. So if you're working with somebody over a phone, talking them through this, when they press Control-Shift-Escape or right-click on the taskbar and choose Task Manager, or Control-Alt-Delete, then choose Task Manager, whatever method you're having to get them into Task Manager. You could ask them on the bottom left corner, does it say More Details, or does it say fewer details in the bottom left corner, and I realize now that you can't even see that. Here's where it says fewer details. Based on their answer, if they say it says fewer details, then you know that they've got the full display, the detailed display. If they tell you that it says more details, then you can tell them to click on that to get to this display. Then let's look at things here. So now I'm sorted by the CPU column. XSplit is again at the top. If I click on the name column, then I'll get back to a display that shows me the names. Oh, look, I'm getting a little bit of freezing on the video there. Just switching to the name column. That was interesting. Is the Big Beast build struggling a little bit in this? Let's see. There's nothing here that's really excessively high on numbers. But I have Google Chrome open. When I expand that, we can see all the different Google Chrome tabs and how much utilization they're taking. This is a technique that I'll use if I'm suspecting that something that's running in a browser is causing trouble. I have on Baby Beast prepared to bring up an active, oh, I see what's going on there. I actually moved the display. Did I shift the display there? This one. No, it's okay. Some weird things going on the screen that is what it's displaying to me. So here I'm showing Baby Beast. Now that has a tab open right now, a Google Chrome tab that is my gameplay this morning. No, yes, that's yesterday. In Fortnite. So that's actually running right now. I have the audio muted. If I were to unmute the audio, you'll be able to hear it. There it is. You could hear a little bit of that. But what happens when I do Control-Shift-Escape on that computer and bring up Task Manager? Bring in the keyboard and mouse over here so that I can still look at the camera, face the camera. So there's my Google Chrome in Task Manager. And why did Zoom come up over there? I must have clicked on something by accident. If I expand the Google Chrome section, I can see what tabs are utilizing the CPU. I can also see what tabs are utilizing memory. And if I end task on these tabs, we should see one of these tabs up here go away. So this is a technique to narrow down what is taking up, what's slowing the computer down, what's taking a lot of resources. You could use this technique to track it down to a particular browser web page. So there's a 1.4. That kind of looks like the one that's taken a lot. So I'm going to try ending task on that browser tab and see what happens. And yes, it looks like that tab went away. We no longer see that video in the background. And then looking at the other browser tabs, this one appears to be taking up some utilization. Now, I haven't seen any way to correlate that as to which tab it is. And I haven't tried to. So I'll right-click on that. Now, I suspect that those numbers there are some other tab on that browser that is refreshing or bringing in new content, even though I know that there's no video playing on the other tabs. I'm thinking that it might be that Twitter tab right there, or it might be that Twitch tab. So I'm going to try ending task and see if one of those two go away. And it looks like the entire Chrome browser went away. I think I was highlighting that individual tab. Okay. Now, I haven't done a lot of work on using that for specific tabs, but it is a way of finding if one of your browser tabs is taking up a lot of utilization. Now, let's go look at some other, I keep pressing the wrong button there. I keep going to the wrong monitor when I'm trying to get back to this. So I want to come now and consider the other tabs in this browser. Now, since I have my picture-in-picture there, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller and bring it over so that we can see all of that. I'll collapse the Google Chrome So here's the other actual apps that I have open right now, and Task Manager is actually open, and that's what we're looking at right now. I mentioned yesterday the app section, the background processes, and the Windows processes that are way down lower. Now, if we go to the Performance tab, this gives us more detailed information about CPU, memory, disk. I have 2 disks. I have that L drive is actually long-term storage, and the CMF drive is the 8 terabyte NVMe SSD that I have partitioned into 3 separate partitions. And then there's my Ethernet activity and my graphics adapter activity. So this is a way of looking and see how are things going right now, what's going on, what's taking up a lot of activity, or what might be slowing the computer down. I often will go even deeper for more detail and come here to Open Resource Monitor. We'll go look at that in a moment, but that's taking us away from Task Manager. The other tabs in Task Manager itself is App History. And this has to do with usage history, and I've got to admit, I haven't focused on this at all. Perhaps I'll take a look at that more before I finish this series for Task Manager and see if that is something really worth mentioning. Then the Startup tab, this is showing things that start up on your computer every time that you restart your computer. So this is a way of troubleshooting. If you're having troubles with an application, troubles with drivers, whatever the troubles are, and you're wondering, could it be because something that's running in the background, you can come in here and disable all of these, or a lot of these background items, the ones that you're suspicious of. What I would typically do is I'd disable a whole bunch of them, restart the computer and see if I still have the symptom. If I still have the symptom, then I'll re-enable half of those items. Restart the computer, see if I still have the symptom. And that's a way of tracking down what is actually causing the problem. Once you disable one of these items, you can go back and re-enable it. I'm not going to actually do that right now because I haven't put any thought towards choosing which one of them I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and give a quick introduction to the Users tab. If you have multiple users that are logged into Windows right now, where you can switch from one user to another without actually logging out of the current user, you would be seeing them here. And this is also something I haven't utilized. Here's a Details tab that shows more detail level of what is actually running. So to demonstrate that, let me come back here to Processes and go to Background Process. Now I'm choosing this at random. If I were taking time to prepare these videos, I would prepare it. But notice there's this Go to Details. So what happens is when you go to Details, it's going to take you to the Details tab for this specific item. So this was Acro Tray. That would be Acrobat Reader, and it's theoretically the tray icon for Acrobat Reader. I haven't verified that. So Go to Details will take me to that item in this Details tabs where I can find more information about it. I can actually go to File Location. I could have gone to the File Location, though, over here on the Processes tab, because that was also available here. So you'd be able to go find what is actually launching that. And when it opened that onto my monitor number 1, and so here we see the actual program file that launches that. Then I'll come back to let's see, so I was on the Details tab, then the Services tab. That is a similar concept. If we come over here on the Processes tab, and I think this is going to be coming down to the Windows processes in this section, does it have Services? And that's one I haven't used much, so it's not there. Maybe is it the Details tab, then it'll take us to Services. I've seen it before where there's be an option to go to Services. And that's not something that I have found much use for. So the one last thing that I want to show here is an introduction to this Open Resource Monitor. I'd like to cover this more in a Might be tomorrow, might be the next day. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stick to Task Manager. But I think that's enough for today's session. I'll take a quick look at the chat window and see if there's something I want to respond to quickly. I did get an email from one of the regular viewers about a symptom on his computer that we might work on Saturday's live stream. Not sure about that yet. But here's today's chat. Let's see. Hellos. Going live, confused, just looking, there's some buffering. And so not a specific question, but I'll read through these chat comments later. I'll also read comments that people might post on the video. That's it for this. I'm intending to keep these daily streams short, and I'll catch you next time. Tonight on Ken Stout's live stream, there's a link in the description of this video if you want to see that. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, same time, same station. Have a great day. Goodbye.